All right, so grade 3 doesn't usually do multiplying by 9, but I usually introduce it because it's one of the easier ones to multiply. People think that 9 being such a big number of the single digit numbers, it's the biggest, that it is harder. And that's not true because there's a lot of strategies for multiplying by 9, and I list them down here. And there might be even ones that I don't even mention that are out there as well that some other people may know. So I put on here multiplying by 9 strategies for everyone. All right. So first of all the answers add up to 9 when you multiply. So it's always a good way to check your answers when you're multiplying by 9 to see if it's correct. So I've got some examples here. So 9 times 2 equals 18. So if I take that answer and add these two digits together, 1 plus 8, it equals 9. So it's good. 9 times 7 is 63. 6 plus 3 is 9. Now, there's even this 9 times 11, which is 99. You're like, hey, that doesn't add to 9. So it's two nines. But if we go a little further, add those two. 9 plus 9 is 18. 1 plus 8 is 9. So yes, eventually it does add to 9. So that's the first strategy I wanted to point out. The next is there is a pattern. So I've started writing out the 9 times tables, starting with 9 times 0. And I want you to look at the pattern. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to break it into ones and tens. Ones and tens. Okay, and then you'll start to see a pattern. I'll just do a few more here. All right, and there's a pattern that shows up. So in the ones place it goes 0, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and then continues, right? Now, obviously this isn't much of a pattern, the tens. Now if we just eliminated the zeros, you would see it more, but basically it goes from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these ones get smaller, and in the tens place they get bigger, okay? And of course they all add to 9 as mentioned up there. All right, so that's something you could always do too. Is I've had students where they've written out the 9 times tables to help them remember, and it's just following this pattern, right? So we don't ever have to write out the 9 times 0 because we know that one, but you start off with 9 times 1, and all you have to do is just go 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, okay, and it'll give you up to the 9 times 10s, all right? Another one is using your fingers. This one is very cool. Can be a little challenging. It also involves using ones and the tens. It can be, like I said, a little tricky. So I'm going to give you a couple examples here. If I had the question 9 times 5. So here's what you do. You put your hands in front of you, palms up. Okay. Actually, I'm going to extend my camera a little higher so you can see a little better, hopefully. My hands are a little big. Okay, so you put palms facing you, okay? And what you do is you always start on the left, okay? Start on the left and you count whatever the other number is that you're multiplying by 9. So in this case, it's 5. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I put that fifth finger down. And then I look at my hands, and where that finger is down is the line between the ones and the tens. So that down finger becomes the line between the ones and the tens. Okay? So now I have to look at it as these are my tens, these are my ones. So how many tens do I have? I have 4. How many ones do I have? 5. So my answer is 45. Okay? And if I put ones and tens, you'll see that I have 4 tens, 5 ones. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth finger down, and then I count 45. Okay? Now, next example, 9 times 8. Move it over here. All right? So this is where it gets a little trickier. So what I do is I go start on the left again, count to the 8th finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I put that finger down. Now remember, this down finger is the line between the ones and the tens. So I have to put these two hands together and count how many fingers I have to the left of the down finger. So I have 5, 6, 7. So 7 there. And how many do I have on this side? 2. So my answer is 72 or 72. Okay, ones, tens. So remember, this line is the down finger, right? It was this down finger. So you just got to count how many are there. So 7 on the left, 2 on the right. 7 on the left, 2 on the right. And it works for all your 9 times tables up to 9 times 10. Okay, so that one's kind of fun. So give it a shot. Try some of those out. Play around with that a little bit. Okay, last strategy I have for you is the answer in the tens place is 1 less than what you multiplied by. So that sounds a bit strange, but if I do 9 times 9, okay, I get my answer of 81. So I'm just going to write ones and tens again. Oops, hard to see that tens. So the answer in the tens place, okay, is 1 less than what we multiplied by. So in this case, we multiplied 9 by 9. So 1 less than 9 is 8. And then I know that the answer is always add to 9. So 8 plus 1 is 9. I'll show you another example. So 9 times 6, okay, 1 less than 6 is 5. Okay, and so then I know 5 plus something equals 9. Well, from my algebra, I know that 5 plus 4 equals 9. So 9 times 6 is 54. So 4 strategies for you to maybe take a look at and try for the 9 times tables. And yes, it's not necessary for grade 3, but there's nothing wrong with learning these ahead of time.